Welcome to the Blended Learning Focus Group. We are so happy to have you and are excited to learn with and from each other. Please pause the video and open a document or take out a journal or piece of paper to take notes. You will use these notes when we come together in person. We have several outcomes for this group that will take time to achieve. These outcomes help define the purpose for our group. The outcomes are to further our learning around best practices for blended learning, design, facilitate, and reflect on blended learning experiences, collaborate with core content central office resource teachers to design best practices for blended learning using district adopted curriculum, work together to create a definition of blended learning that includes different models for SDUSD, and last, share our definition and models district-wide. We want to set the stage for our kickoff meeting. During our day together, we will explore what our definition of blended learning is, why it is needed in San Diego Unified Schools, as well as some strategies for how we might facilitate blended learning in our classrooms. In order to ensure everyone is starting the day with common knowledge around these strategies, we are going to give a brief overview of a few of them in this video. The four strategies that we will discuss in this video are station rotation model, whole group rotation model, the flipped classroom, and the playlist model. After each strategy is shared, you will pause the movie and write your own definition of the strategy, then list how you currently apply or might apply that strategy to your classroom practice. These notes will be useful when collaborating with your peers during our time together. The first strategy is the station rotation model. In this model, the teacher creates a series of learning activities that students either individually or in groups physically rotate around the room to participate in. One station might be a teacher-led station where the teacher can differentiate their instruction in a small group setting. Another center might be an online task where students can work at their own pace. A different one might be offline, where students have the opportunity to engage in discussion, collaborate, or work with hands on materials. An example of this in a science classroom might be small groups that move around the classroom to engage in a science concept. One might be some sort of hands on experiment. Another small group could be a card sort where students are reinforcing vocabulary for that science concept. Another might be a small meeting with the teacher where they're discussing the science concept with each other and the teacher. Students rotate to each of the centers so that they all are able to experience the learning in different ways. Stop the video and think about this strategy. Write your own definition of the station rotation model on your paper, and then think how you currently apply or might apply this strategy to your classroom practice. The next strategy is the whole group rotation model. In this model, the teacher plans the lesson that the whole group engages with at the same time all together. The teacher looks through universal design for learning and plans with intentionality what students will do and when. Some of these activities might be online, some might be offline, and the teacher decides when and how that happens. Here's an example of a whole group rotation model for an English lesson. So students start offline with collaborative groups and accessing prior knowledge. Then they go online to read, annotate, make vocabulary predictions. Then the teachers have them come off of their devices, project something to the board where they can do a 2-column analysis of notes and engage in the discussion with the class. Then students stay offline for a 4-corner conversation and then go back online at the end of the lesson for thinking questions and reflection. Go ahead, stop the video, Write your own definition of whole group rotation on your document or paper, then list how you currently apply or might apply this strategy to your classroom practice. The next strategy is the flipped classroom. The flipped classroom is the idea of transferring the responsibility of learning from the teacher to the student. Oftentimes, this comes in reading or a video that is either created by the teacher or found by the teacher. As the students work through the content at their own speed, this frees up the teacher to move around the classroom and spend more time with students as they work through learning the content at their own pace. Some people see the flipped classroom in a math classroom where students watch a video the night before where they learn the math concept, then come to the classroom the next day and the teacher engages students in hands on learning, exploration, and math tasks where they get support from the teacher. We also see the flipped classroom in a science classroom where they watch a video the night before to prepare for a science lab and then come to classroom with notes prepared and ready to engage in the lab so that students are not spending their time listening to the teacher's instructions or lecture. We also see flipped videos used in the station rotation, which is a great example of how these strategies can be mixed and used in multiple ways. Go ahead and pause the video, write your own definition of the flipped classroom, and explain how you currently apply or might apply this strategy to your classroom practice. The last strategy we will discuss is the playlist model. In the playlist model, the teacher uses universal design for learning in finding different ways for students to access, engage, and share learning about a certain concept. In this task, students work through the sequence at their own pace and have the opportunity to pause, get additional help, or move quickly if they understand the content. Here's an example of a language arts playlist where students work through from beginning to end at their own pace. Here you'll see that the template provides an opportunity for them to receive instructions. They take notes and document their completion date. Students watch videos, analyze writing, take it offline, and make a hard copy to annotate. Again, students are working at their own rate with a mixture of online and offline activities. Go ahead and pause the video, write your own definition of the playlist strategy, list how you currently apply or might apply this strategy to your classroom practice. Thank you for watching. We look forward to working with you and fine tuning our thinking around blended learning.